Hello, my name is Ian Ryan and I'm an AWS Cloud Architect. Today I'm going to be starting a new Gen AI series and we're going to start by talking about a Generative AI Web Browser. So what do I mean by this and why a Generative AI Web Browser? Well, the internet is broken. It's now this crazy quagmire of ads, clickbait, unnecessary verbosity, repetitive generated content is becoming almost unusable at this point, the amount of advertising and content that we have to wade through to get to actual relevant content. In addition to this, we have this ongoing arms race between ad blockers and ad companies. So what's happening here is ad blockers are trying to block all the ads, and then the ad companies are trying to still present them, and so we end up with these JavaScript embedded elements in websites which are just popping up ads or asking you to disable your ad blockers. It has just become a complete mess. How do we fix the internet? A nice simple question there. Well, sometimes complex problems can have simple solutions. The way we're going to do this is we're going to use AI and LLMs to consume the web pages for us. So they will browse the content for us and then they will return to us a clean summary or a clean view of that website. So what they will do is they'll remove all the ads, all the clickbait, all the unnecessary content that you get on websites, and then the LLM will just give the real, actual content back to us. So an interesting side effect of this, it's not going to be possible to stop an AI browser from ignoring the irrelevant, meaningless content on a website. Because the AI browser is just going to be consuming the raw content, unless you put an entire paywall or else restrict access to your website, you're not going to be able to stop this happening. Why wouldn't big tech build this? Why don't we see these all over the place now? Well, the current revenue model, which all the big tech companies have, is reliant on advertising. You're not going to see a big tech company destroying their own revenue stream by introducing a browser such as this. Not only that, they want to control the user experience, so they want to make sure that there is branding. All these things will get stripped out by this AI browser. And not only the big tech, but all the other companies will not like this. It is going to remove a revenue stream for all the other companies. Since big tech's not going to build this, let's build it ourselves. What do we need? Well, we need access to an LLM, so we can use Amazon Bedrock or any other LLM of choice. We're going to need a front end, so we'll build a simple little React front end. We need an API gateway, which is going to be able to talk to the Lambda function, which is going to be talking to the LLM. So that looks way too simple, doesn't it? And it looks so simple because all of the hard work has been done in creating these LLMs. How do we implement our front end? Well, the front end is going to be a simple React application. We're going to have an address bar at the top and we're going to have a go button. All that's going to happen then is that we'll have a content section and we'll probably add like a spinner as well, just to show the status. When we click that go button, our front end is going to submit the URL to our API gateway and the response back is going to be set as the content on our page. Behind the API gateway, we have a Lambda function. Our Lambda function is going to render the page fully in a headless browser. This is so it can extract the full HTML content after the page has been fully rendered. Any extra tags are going to be removed, and we're going to remove these just to reduce the size of the content that we're sending to the LLM. And we do this because some of the LLMs will have limits on token sizes, and some of these websites are absolutely huge. The raw HTML content is then going to be passed to our LLM, like I said, which is going to return the cleaned HTML content. How do we integrate with our LLM? Well, like all of these modern AI applications that you see, there is going to be a prompt. And so what we're going to do is we're going to give it this prompt displayed here, and we're going to let the LLM work everything else out. So we're going to give it a prompt and we're going to say clean up this HTML content and give us back HTML content. This is nice because it means that the LLM is going to work out everything about this website. It is going to work out the intent, the meaning behind it, the actual relevant content. Let's do a demo. We'll show how this works in practice. Noting this is actually going to work on any website we give it because of the way it works with an LLM. Let's start here with a news website. This is a typical New Zealand news website talking about the weather. And as you can see, it is many ads. So there is ads, there is links to X, there will be like clickbait things popping up, and all the content which is relevant to us is buried amongst all of this. Oh, and not only that, we have pop-up ads as well. Let's go to our new browser. Here we take the exact same URL of what we just browsed, we paste it into our address bar, and we click go. So our browser's returned the content. So this is back from the LLM, which has worked out what is the relevant content on that page, and given it back to us. It's even picked an image that it thought was relevant to this content. So let's try something else. Let's try a recipe website. The recipe websites are notorious for the amount of additional content they include, rather than just the actual recipe itself. On this particular one here, we are having ads playing, we got video ads, we have ads within the content, we have banner ads, and we're just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling until we find the actual relevant content here. So eventually we make it down to the actual recipe. And even within the list of ingredients, we have advertising here. That's not great. Let's have a look what it would look like if we paste this URL into our new browser. Right, so we paste that in, we click go, and we wait for it to talk to our LLM. And it has come back. It's done a pretty good job. It's given us a summary of what the recipe is about. It's given us a list of ingredients and instructions. It's also picked a couple of images that it thought were relevant. Apparently it likes the cookbook, but it's also given us a small image of the actual dish. But it's done a pretty good job stripping out all that irrelevant content for us. Some final thoughts. Well, we could improve this. This was just a POC, so it's not doing too much. I mean, we can introduce things like caching and stuff to improve the performance so that you get your responses back a lot quicker for regularly requested web pages. We could expand the POC. We could actually make it so that the AI can actually interact with components on the website. So it could actually go in and like log in or follow additional links to gather more information. And so where is this going? Well, there's going to be an arms race of sorts again, I believe. I think we're going to have the war of the AI browsers. We're going to have companies or open source communities that will spin up new browsers based on AI technology like this, and then it will turn into who has the best AI browser. Similar to what was happening back in the day with Netscape and Internet Explorer. What is this going to lead to? Well, the internet's going to have to change. Websites that suit being read by AI are going to win. The AI browsers are going to get smarter. They'll start favoring content which actually is more readable, or else users will start only going to websites that are readable by the AI. And again, who's going to build this? Well, the big tech companies aren't going to build it. The open source community is going to be the place where it's going to be built. This is a product that helps the users. It doesn't help companies. If you found this interesting, please follow me on LinkedIn, YouTube, wherever. Like, subscribe, all that good stuff. As I said at the start, I'm going to be talking a bit more about generative AI and demoing some more things that I consider interesting and more interesting POCs rather than talking about it in a particularly generic way. So thanks for watching. See you next time.